Shabbat. I wanted to get on here real quick and just do my future self a favor. Perhaps most of the country, if not all the country, will be homeschooling. And this is what I would call forced COVID-19 quarantine homeschooling. In that most of the times, homeschoolers, we choose to homeschool our children for whatever reasons we may have. And in this situation, everyone is being forced to homeschool because the schools are all shut down, both private, public, university, you name it, all of them are shut down right now. And so what's going to happen inevitably is that I will be talking to a family in the future about homeschooling, and the first thing I will hear is, I don't want to homeschool because I remember whenever we was under quarantine, and I just remember it was crazy. It was just a lot of work. And so what I want to do is just say that quarantine is different from homeschooling, number one. Number two, the whole idea of quarantine homeschooling is kind of perpetuating the idea that homeschoolers, or the myth, I should say, that homeschoolers don't have a social life or have social issues, or, you know, just stay in the house all day. But this is week 3, going on week 4 of my children being exclusively in the house, and they are ready to go. They are ready to leave. So they're ready to go out. They're ready. You know, this is the springtime. We would have went maple pulling, you know, with maple pulling field trip. We would have went ice skating probably a few weeks ago, before the weather broke. We would have went to the Botanic Garden probably by now. Homeschoolers get out a lot. Have a lot of social interactions if their parents, you know, decide to do that. The other thing is that, you know, this is a really stressful time for most people. If you don't have a work from home capability, and if you're in a quote unquote non-essential job, we know that all of our jobs are essential to our families, but if it's, you know, classified as non-essential, you know, you may be on unemployment or worse, you know. And so it's a stressful time. And so, you know, adding, you know, having your children at home 24/7 during a stressful time, having, you know, to teach them a curriculum that maybe you don't know. For example, I'm a math major, and I don't really care for Common Core math. And so, you know, there may be some things within your children's curriculum that, you know, you're not very familiar with, that you have to get familiar with, that you have to learn to help your children. And so, you know, they just want to go out. They probably miss their friends. They probably miss their activities. I know my children miss soccer and violin and gymnastics, and, you know, going to guitar lessons and ballet, etc. And so, you know, it's for all children, it's a hard time. And so you're adding, you know, their hardship onto an already stressful or potentially stressful situation. Overlapping, if you have a work from home job, overlapping homeschool with working from home can also be you know, something that is a hard adjustment. I would also say the overnight, going from, you know, Friday, you know, to Monday, the change can also be stressful. So what I want to just get on here and say, you know, most of the time with that, homeschoolers, you know, we make a decision, and then, you know, we go through all the options. We go through all the curriculums that we may want, and then we make a decision on it, and then we go with it. And in this case, you know, the decision is being made for you. So, you know, it's really forced. And so this is different. anyone who I talk to in the future who has that response, I will direct you to this video, because direct Echad, and you know, I'm pro, our community is pro homeschooling. I'm pro homeschooling. My husband is pro homeschooling. You know, the elders that are part of our community and their wives, we're pro homeschooling. And so, or cyber schooling, we're pro taking our children out of the worldly system as much as possible, and instilling in them the values that we have from a Torah perspective. God bless.